Howdy, gamers, and welcome to Checkpoint Reach, where I am your host, Lex, along with my co host, Ernie,
Hello, hello.
and we will be chatting video games weekly. Thank you all so much for joining us for our second episode. Hope everyone is doing all right. Ernie, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm great, dude. I'm chilling. I'm really excited to get into this episode. This is the one. What's funny is when we talked about doing the podcast, I always say this, but this was the first episode I think we ended up talking about. Like this is
This
the first
is
episode. Yeah,
the
what,
first
right?
episode topic that we're going to get into this week. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this week we are going to be covering some overhyped games of 2024 and some games that kind of underdelivered. They're going to be kind of games that we were hyped for and some that weren't, that were just kind of little some honorable mentions that Ernie brought up to me for some games I didn't even know about. It's kind of
They're
funny, but yeah,
truly unknown, right?
exactly. That's a little taste. But yeah,
So I don't,
each week we're going to be talking a topic in gaming with some occasional news stories. We'll throw in some movie and TV quotes and some random life rants for you. It'll be a good time. What are you going to say? You're about to say something. I rudely cut you off.
no, nothing. I don't think I was going to say anything. I
No,
I,
okay,
I
good.
think I was winking
So you're still
because when I
stuck.
said unknown,
I'm just kidding.
what did you say?
Oh, you're winking. Oh, I forgot they can see us, huh?
Yeah, I don't.
Hello.
Yeah. They can see. Can
I
you see me?
I can
Is
see
that
you. And Ernie's got this
okay?
sweet little background. He won't share his secret how to get it. I will get it eventually. Everyone, I had it
Dude,
set up differently last time. You see my
I
ugly background, but we're still we're still in the
Yeah, we're
process of
still going,
working
dude.
here. You know,
You know what? I keep your secrets. You know the Lord of the Rings, the Frodo. Keep your secrets. You don't remember that?
is that from it?
I
That
think it's
movie?
from
I, why
I think
why
it's
do I
from
think
Lord of
it's
the
from
Rings.
something else? You're probably right though, but I feel
Probably.
like I've
But
heard
look,
that from something else too.
I'm not trying to hide the
It's
secrets
not a gay.
about
It's
you.
not a
It's
gatekeeping
not. I'm
line.
not gatekeeping. I'm not gatekeeping. It's just that I don't know how to tell you to do it because all I
No,
did
I
was
know.
use
I'm
NVIDIA
kidding.
Broadcast, and I found this background somewhere. So this is not even my background. This is
No, I
someone
know.
else's room. Because if you see my background, it's
No, yeah,
literally just my bed,
it's
and
not. It's
it's
not
like
that.
not all sweet setup. But you
You'll
know,
see Ernie's delicates for the week.
I am the kind of person that wakes up in the morning early, so I like to have my clothes laid out for me in the morning. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
I
yes,
did
yes.
that?
Good.
Did I make a
Hey,
lot? No, I
I
didn't
know
make
people that do that, and that's fine. If you do
There's
it,
nothing wrong with
you're
it.
planning.
It definitely it takes a certain kind of.
It's a Type A personality, right? Is what they is as they say.
I've never heard that.
Um,
What is a type B?
us buffoons. No, just kidding. We're not huge planners, I guess. I don't
Bastards.
know. You know, there's these words that
Yeah,
get made up in these years. Not kidding. It's not a made up thing, but
I don't think so.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
funny because I
but
do have a background. Like I have my little toys and that I kind of shared last week, but I just don't have the right angle set up yet. So I'll get there. You know, like I said, this is episode 2. Again, if you're checking in with us, I really appreciate it. Welcome back to the podcast. But yeah, anyway, enough about backgrounds. Before we get into today's topic, we just like to always talk about the games we're currently playing. So, Ernie, what game are you playing, if any, right
dude,
now?
if I may interject here, my
Of
friend, I
course.
would love for you to start off because last time I started and I
Oh,
kind of went on a rant, and I'm gonna probably go on another Dark Souls
he went
rant
he went on the
where I'm
train
gonna tell
tracks.
you.
I told him no Dark
I,
Souls this week. No, I'm kidding.
and I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
go
kidding.
off the rails again. No, this time I'm not playing any of that, right? Because I've finished it at this point, but I have something else. But please, what
Oh,
tell the the women, the children, the men
of
what you're
course,
playing this week.
everyone. So I said last week that I was going to talk about Star Wars Outlaws because I had played it more, but that was a lie. I ended up just really just focusing on Indiana Jones. I really wanted to get that game done before today's episode, but it didn't happen. I think I have maybe like 2 hours of the game left, maybe an hour and a half. My problem with this game is I get very distracted because I'm having a great time as I talked about it last time. I'm really enjoying even doing some of the side stuff. And I know Ernie, we've talked about this on
Yeah.
outside of the cast. Like there's certain games where you're like, I just want to just chug through because they don't make it easy. Like it's not convenient for us to do a side quest. It's like I have to do all this. But like Indiana Jones keeps it like contained enough where you can knock things out pretty easily. Sometimes there's some tricks, sometimes there's some things you have to get around that's like puzzles you have to connect. But for the most part, it's not terribly difficult. And that's what I really enjoying about this game. Like I'm having a lot of fun. Like I'm at the end and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna power through right now. And I'm like towards like the last final missions. But then another mission just kind of pops up and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go check this out real quick. And I'm glad I did because I'm just gonna briefly talk about it because like I ended up meeting with a student of mine that because you're Dr. Jones, she's like, oh, she's like, Dr. Jones, I'm your student. She's trying to find something. So you're like in the situation with her where you're trying to find a tomb and then ends up being a trap and like the whole thing fills up and all these spikes are coming down. So you have to like swim and like figure out your way out. It's pretty intense. It gets intense. And I'm so like I'm almost done with that little side quest, but it's been fun. And it really gives you that Indiana Jones vibe. There's a point too where I cranked like this wheel and I slid down this thing. And then like at the end of the slide, there's spikes, but when you run it, you run into another person that had fallen for the trap, and then like Indiana Jones goes, "You're a real lifesaver, bud," because that body's already there, and it's freaking
Yeah,
sweet,
yeah.
and it's great. But I also just did this like a
That's
main
so well
mission.
written. It sounds really well written.
It's very well written, and like I'll just briefly talk about this. There's a main mission that you do that's part of the main story. And then like you're in a boat and you have to swim to find like the entrance to this pyramid, but there's this giant snake that's lurking and it's so scary. And like if you're not fast enough to get to a section, it'll eat you. And at
Oh
one
wow.
point, when you get to the end, like you get on this little platform and there's these little spheres and you have to throw the spears at the snake that's like fighting you. It's like it's
Oh
like, dude,
wow.
it's it's a lot of fun. Like when you kill it,
Snakes.
he
I
goes, one thing good about a snake is a dead snake. He says like
yeah.
something, dude. It is fantastic. I'm really loving this game. I'm by next week I will have it done, and I promise you I'll have another game to talk about as well. But like I'm just so focused on beating this game that usually I when I play games I like am playing something else as well. But
Yeah.
this one it just got me, Ernie. It's got me good, and
It's
I've
like a
been
black tar,
yeah
you know?
exactly. I just been having sessions like an hour or two like a day. I think currently I'm at like 20 something hours right now
Yeah.
with some decent exploration. I don't think I'm gonna go back and really explore. I think I'm kind of just done after it, but fantastic game. I'm excited for you to play it. So that's what I've been playing, man, and
Yeah.
I recommend it for any Indiana Jones fans and just fans of the adventure genre and puzzles. So Ernie,
Yeah.
I'll leave it out to you,
I wanna just add something really random. I
please.
just realized this as I was listening to your story, which is really cool. I'm glad that you're playing that game. I'm really excited to play it. I'm just in the midst of a game that I definitely want to finish, and I'll get into it. But I wanted to
Mhm.
briefly mention this. You and I are both using the same microphone, and I
Yes,
think we're also using almost the same brand headset, huh? You're using a Steel Series, yeah?
I am. You know what they say: two minds think the same.
That's crazy. The only thing, it's just wild because I was looking, I'm like, those look like mine. And I usually don't wear these, but these were given to me by a near and dear friend of ours.
Mhm.
Sadly, yeah, we had a Viking funeral for the man. I'm
Oh
just
my
joking.
gosh, no, no,
He
he
just
just
stopped.
stopped game.
He just stopped gaming, but it
Yeah.
was a Viking gaming funeral. We should call it.
Oh my
But
goodness.
okay.
No, I think honestly, I think I asked you. Well, obviously the mics you
Tell me.
recommended, and I
Yeah.
think when I was asking you about because I wanted to get a new headset, I had a Bose headset that I told you broke.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
sucks.
because
And it snapped on you, right?
I just mismanaged it and I tried to super glue it. It didn't work, and obviously no one wanted to help me with it. They're like, "Oh, we don't know how to fix this thing." I'm like, and I remember I contacted Bose, and maybe I shouldn't be shouting out the company like this, but they're like, "I thought we have a solution for you. Buy another one." I was like, "All right, thank you very much." Anyway, continue.
No, no, you're good. I want to get into this real quick because I got a pair of AirPod Maxes that were
Mhm,
broken,
yes.
and so I took them to Best Buy, and I was like,
Oh,
okay,
that's right.
well, so I mean, Best Buy is cool. Like they have some pretty cool workers. There's nothing against them, but
Mhm,
I went there and they're like, okay, so we can't figure this out. I think they're busted. They're like done. So there's
mhm.
no way you can fix them. And he's like, you could send them to Apple. And I was like, no, I already contacted Apple. This is their brand. This is their headset. They're the reason it's broken. It's like it's nothing
Apple.
I did to it, right? It's just Apple products.
Yeah,
It's crazy because if you want to send it in for them to fix it, guess
it
how much it
costs you
costs?
$100 to deliver it.
Are you
No?
kidding me?
Is
Three
it
hundred
more?
dollars
Just to get it
just
sent?
to get it
And
fixed and sent. Yeah,
yeah, at that point, you just buy a new one, right? I mean,
exactly. And
that's
might as
just
well buy the Sony's. I mean, I have two pairs of them, and one of them was given to me, and I bought it for parts. But I was like, let me see if I could see if they could fix it.
yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I just want to tell you my little
Let me get into
story.
this. Sorry,
No, no,
I
no,
know.
good, good.
We kept doing
Hey,
this. So that
hey,
it's
whose cast is this? Ours?
it's ours.
And
It's
this
for
is
the
what the
listener.
people want.
We
I'm
hope
just
you
kidding.
guys
Get
talk
it.
about this is the life
Get it.
rants we're talking about, but like
Yeah.
recently I was having an issue with like my washer and it's like a
Right.
sensor error on the washer. And I told my mom about it, and she's like, "Oh, that happened to me, and I got it fixed for mine, $300." So at that point, I might as well just got a new washer. I'm like, she's like, "Oh, that's true." She's, "I'll just." So it's been working fine. But also, I want to touch on the Best Buy. So I have the Total Tech membership, and they've changed it since when I first started it.
Yeah.
And I had taken stuff in, and like they denied me of like being able to like the Bose headset they couldn't fix. Obviously, that was
I
It's
mean,
because
that's
that
yeah,
one's
what
because of the
happened
accessory.
to it.
But
Yeah.
then there was something else too, and I think at one point I just wanted to be like, "What do you guys do? Like, what am I paying for here?" But like, they fixed my they basically when I took my Asus in, they installed the
Well,
SSD, and then the
and
PCs
then
they
when we
did
took
that.
our PCs,
Yeah.
right? They
So
yeah, they got
they
fixed
do
too. So
things, but it's just funny because I was just
it's
like,
just, but it's
"What
just
do you guys do?"
it, it's the what they end up doing is that they help you with like the most minute sort of things, but
Yeah.
they can't manufacture or fix something.
No, of course not,
They're
of
not
course.
like they're not an Asus, they're not an Apple, they're not those people, but they are like a definitely like the middleman to tell you, hey, this is what you can do, which is kind of cool. Because like if had I gone to Apple, I would have wasted my time getting queued up in the Geek Squad or whatever they're called at
The
Apple.
blue shirts, the
The
geniuses.
geniuses. Thank you. You sit down and then they end up doing this thing where it's like they're like, oh wait, right here, and then like I'm like, I have a reservation for this time, but you're making me wait 20 more minutes. Like
Or just like just pressing a
I'm
bunch of
like,
just
dude,
stuff in your
it pisses me off, bro. It's so, dude, Apple I like their stuff, dude, but man, they
yeah, just
have
a lot of they have so
it's
many
just a
workers
lot.
but so little. But yeah,
Yeah, bro.
maybe that'll be another episode for future of
No, I don't even want to
issues with
talk
the
about this. We're just gonna
corporations.
make
No, I'm just
gang.
kidding. I'm kidding.
But let me
Anyway,
get in. No,
continue about your gaming.
yeah, please. Uh, so I've been playing The Witcher 3, the complete edition.
Mhm.
Now, Lex, I want you to tell the people how many times have I purchased this game? Do you remember?
I think based on sales alone, The Witcher is so successful because of how many times Ernie has purchased that game. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. They
Honestly,
say the numbers keep going up.
it's like someone is buying it in this region,
It's
dude.
still,
It it's me, dude. I
and it's
bought
you.
this game like 5
It's
times,
me. Yeah.
or yeah, 4 or 5 times. But I'm a victim of circumstance, is what I like
Mhm.
to say. I really, really want to beat The Witcher 3. I love the game so far. It's really cool. I'm like 10 hours in, right?
Yeah.
But I've played it so many times, and I've only gotten to a certain part in the game where it's like something always happens where I just stop playing it. And so, like I said, I bought it in different consoles. I have it on freaking Steam, on GOG. I have it on Nintendo Switch. I have it on
The
PS4.
flavor of the month. Like
Dude,
whatever you're depending on what you're playing at that moment, right?
yeah, bro. And it's just like I've bought it in so many times just because I want to beat it. That's how many times. That's why I bought it, right? And so finally, I got it on Steam.
Wait, real quick.
Complete.
Is the
Go
10
ahead.
hours spread between all these consoles? That's why it's 10 hours because
No,
you
it's
put an
actually
hour on each console.
no,
I'm kidding.
sadly no.
So good. Good.
I think I've only played like maybe like an hour on each of the other
Yes.
ones.
Mhm.
This is my first 10-hour playthrough.
Okay.
Like this is like an actual legit like run of it,
Mhm,
which is
mhm.
so awesome because it's like it's a great game. I know this and I've known this, but like now the way I'm playing it has gone to a point where I'm like, dude, I cannot wait to finish this game. It is a grind though, people. Like this is a true RPG. Like to get to a certain like I'm in an area where it's like you need 1,000 crowns or florins or whatever. The Witcher's deep voice. Oh, I
Mhm.
need the money. So you have to go do contracts, which is cool because it kind of sets you up for more gameplay, which is like what you want, right? But it's
Mhm.
like, man, I just want to beat the main story, but it's like now I have this period where I gotta stop and think and baby. No, I gotta stop and and get and grind a little bit, levels and freaking money, which is cool. That's not a big that's good, right? So I've been playing that, dude, for like I said, 10 hours, and I don't even know where the heck I am. But dude, the story is so cool, so well written. I think they do a really great job in this, like the way the story is being told. Because I'll be just going somewhere and talking to someone, and then it just takes you to something else that's crazy that you're just like, well, what the heck's going on here? And it's just like, dude, it's so continuous throughout the.
Correct me if I'm
Go ahead.
wrong. Sorry for
No,
interrupting
you're
here.
good.
'Cause
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have played this game as well, and I'm probably about 10 hours. I only have it on one console though. I played it kind of late. I got it.
Oh, rub it in, huh? Nice.
I started it when the remaster came out for like the PlayStation. I think it's a great game. I think it's fantastic as well. I kind of fell off as well because yeah, like you said, same kind of the same issue. And I think there was just something else that was just calling me. It calls to me. Heed my call. But correct me if I'm wrong. When you restart your gameplay, like when you're starting the game up again, it tells the story of where you're at, right?
It does,
In like
which
a
is
cut
such a
scene, like which is
yeah,
awesome. Okay,
yeah.
and I
It is
think that
awesome.
is
Yeah.
awesome. Like I think that's such a cool thing. I've never seen that before, and like they do it in like a cool like comic strip kind of way, and it's like a really cool artwork. But yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
it
to
goes
clarify
like
because I haven't played it in a
Siri.
while.
Yeah, it goes
Mhm.
Siri was riding a horse
It's all.
down
So
the
you've decided
plain.
to come back to us, eh?
Yeah, he's all
It's
he's
been
all
10 years.
he's all he's all Eddie. Fifth purchase, huh?
Those just
You're back.
oh.
No, but yeah, so like it does that cool little cutscene, and it I like it, because it definitely like kind of keeps you going. But because I'm playing, I'm like, I don't want to see this. I already seen this.
Yeah.
Like, but like I love that feeling because like I've said, it's such a grindy game that I think it deters a lot of people, right? It's like
Mhm.
the same thing. Sorry, I got to talk about Dark Souls a little bit. I apologize, Lex here.
It's okay. It's
But
alright.
like
Go ahead.
but like when you're playing Dark Souls, like you have to level up, you have to get better, you have to learn from your mistakes. Like, but and so a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. So they never come back. So when you do end up coming back, there is no tutorial, there is no nothing. So it's just like you're kind of just done with the game at that point, right? Like, how long did it take us to when we started playing Elden Ring again? And then when we started playing, we're like, dude, Lex, I don't remember
Exactly. Picking
how
up from where you
exactly
were.
how I'm
Mhm.
doing it, but like it all came kind of back, but it was like it took a while because I hadn't played in such a long
Yeah,
time.
I mean, yeah, The Witcher especially, like, that has a lot of stuff going on. I think we've talked about it too, where, like, we've talked about, like, okay, that's cool that they tell the story, but I wish he'd be like Geralt will be like, you gotta press B for your magic stick." You know, something like that, I don't know.
Uh,
Just help you out throughout the game.
I don't know if there's a mod
No,
or
no,
can someone
I wouldn't
create
want
that.
that, but I
No,
think that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
that'd be
no,
pretty funny.
yes, dude, that's like one of the fun things because, like I said, I bought it in multiple consoles, but I think having it on PC is probably the best version because you can
Mhm,
mod it, you can do a bunch of cool stuff, like little things that are improvements of the game depending on how you want to play it.
mhm.
Um, one of them is I put on is like I don't want to be like when you're carrying too much, you slow down. So I did it where it doesn't matter.
Which I love
Um,
that because I truly dislike that in games because I love to pick up everything, and I always feel like everything's important, but it's not.
no, it's not. I feel like that too. I pick up a candle and I'm like, this is gonna come in handy later, and I'm like, no, it's not. It never does. But yeah, so I've been modding the game and doing all that. I even added Henry Cavill from The Witcher 3. I mean,
I
from The
love
Witcher
that.
show. Sorry, on Netflix, because that's what I told Lex. That's what got me back into The Witcher. I was like, I've always wanted to go back, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the first 2 seasons of The Witcher. And I was watching them, and freaking Henry Cavill is in it. And
What
I
about
was like,
Liam?
hey, well, we haven't even seen that guy. He's not out yet.
Oh,
He's
that's
not
right.
out yet
He's not out yet. His
to be
toy.
determined or whatever
Yeah.
whenever he comes out. But yeah, so he's coming out in the next season. I think it's 4. But like I was watching, I'm like, dude, this show's so good. But
Mhm.
then the third season is just like it just oh man, I cannot watch that. But yeah, so I put the mod in, playing that game, a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. And I'm like 10 hours in. I could
Yeah.
see why people love this game and why it was a 10 out of 10 and why it made so much money. Like I could
No, yeah,
easily
it's a
see.
great game. I love playing it as well. But the problem with me is, like, that game is one of those games that's intriguing enough where I wanted to decide stuff. Like, I don't wanna just do all main. But, I mean, I get it, you wanna get it done. That game's we talk about our backlog, but that game's the backlog. You know, that
Dude,
game
that
is
thing is freaking logged back
that
there.
thing that game's
Hard.
holding the backlog of games.
Dude, honest, that one's like if you have you ever seen? I forget what this is called, but it's like a art piece where they're holding the earth, the world. That
Yeah,
the person,
Telemundo. No, just kidding, no.
yeah, Telemundo. But that's The Witcher. It's holding all the games that we
Yeah,
have.
I
We
know what
haven't
you're
played.
talking
It's
about.
like this.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah,
Is that all? That's it? Alright, cool. Well,
that is. I
that's
don't. I'm not playing anything
no,
else.
that's great, man. Because I do wanna get back into that game. I actually well, that's funny enough, I made fun of you for buying the game, but I actually bought it for
I
my
bought it
PC as well
twice. Yeah,
because, I mean, it was cheap. It was, like it's a lot cheaper than it was
cheap
before.
too.
Um, but yeah, great stuff, man. Good stuff. Hope you all, go ahead and comment below what you guys are playing this week, anything that we should keep an eye out for. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's topic, which, like we said, it's 2024's kind of the games that just really fail, flops, however you want to say it. The overhyped games for us personally, underdelivered, underwhelmed, however you want to say it. This is kind of mostly personal. I know there's more to it. Which we added a couple games that we weren't specifically hyped for, but we just throw it in for just for some fun, some conversation, spark some conversation. So let's start with the first game on the list that I think we kind of talked about. We might have touched on it last week, but One of the games I was truly hyped for because of course we love this series of the Arkhamverse. We love the Batmans, we love all that. So when they announced a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, that was a winner. I was like, "Yes, I want it. I'm reserving it. I don't even care." And then they released more more footage. So this is Rock City Studios. This game was released in the beginning of the year, January 30th. This game is something that no one expected. It became a looter shooter, like a live service game with microtransactions. It did not do well. It was poor reception. Critical reception. I'm sorry. The game was super short. It was like a couple hours of an actual main story. And spoiler alert for the games. I mean, I'm sure you all know by this by now, but like they killed the Justice League. Basically, it's in the title. People were upset. They killed Batman, which was Kevin Conroy's basically his last because he passed away this past year's the year before I think, and everyone was upset. Like this was his last hurrah. Was they're killing him? They're obviously they didn't know he was going to die, but
No, no.
and then obviously they kill. We have not played it yet, but it's funny because it was released, for free. Basically, but we have it for free off Epic Games. It was off Prime Gaming. I think I saw the game recently as low as like $5, which is pretty wild. But as of December 9th, the final update to the game was given with season 4, episode 8. Not even a year with this game. They basically like got everything out with some odd choices of what they gave out, but the reported loss of this game was 200 million for Warner Brothers. And it's funny because they kind of doubled down at one point on it. They're like, we kind of want to still do this for future games, which didn't quite make sense. But now the real kicker and the funny thing about this whole thing is that they just released a video, and it was a cartoon video. It wasn't even the style of the game. It was Harley Quinn's voice actress. I forget what the name of the voice actress was, but she's basically narrating this comic strip and just basically telling you that all the Justice League people that you killed were clones. They were never real. Basically resetting this whole Arkhamverse, which is hilarious, honestly, because they probably knew they screwed up, and that's what we get. And even as low as $5, people are still hesitant to buy this game. But Ernie, I want to know your thoughts on this game. Like, what are your thoughts? How did you feel? Were you hyped for it? Let me know what you thought about it.
So I played this game. I played it. I know you played the beta, so you have
Yes,
some
I
sort
should
of
have mentioned that. Mhm.
you have some sort of recollection of how the gameplay is. I've played this game for I want to say maybe an hour, maybe two, something like that.
Mhm.
It wasn't very long, but from what I gathered, I thought the game was pretty cool. Like it has like it's neat. I like the gameplay, but I think it got repetitive, right? I wouldn't be able to give you guys like a full like review because I hadn't beaten the full game. I don't want to be like, oh, this, but I know for a fact that I wasn't gonna finish this game. Like this is the one that I definitely know that I'm not gonna go back to. Like you said,
Mhm.
like we got it for free on Epic Games, and that was the only reason I ended up trying it out. I don't want a live service Batman verse story.
Mhm.
I don't want to grind levels to get to the next thing. This shouldn't have been an RPG. This should have been a straight up Guardians of the Galaxy esque story, very linear and just with these characters. Because there's a lot of great things here. Like the characters' dialogue between each other is really cool. The
Yes.
designs are pretty like it's not poorly designed. You can tell that they spent time and money on this. But I think like I know a lot of people were like bashing the other game that had come out, which was Gotham Knights, and I think that one looked
Yes.
a lot worse than this one. But this one looks like good. It looks it's graphically a really pretty game, but it's just like I said, the repetitiveness and
Well, see,
just
it looked pretty, but like it was also very bland in the world. Didn't
exactly.
feel
It
alive.
didn't feel alive, right? That was the thing that we had a conversation about this the other day is open world and what open world really means, right? Certain games do it really well. I feel like GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, there's a bunch of other ones I can't really remember at the top of my head. But I was telling you, Lex, right, is that the open world is great when it feels alive, right? And
Mhm.
I think those games I had just mentioned do it really well. But then you get like Marvel Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 1, great game. Love it. Loved exploring the world. Loved swinging. But like you said, Alex, in our message, we're talking about it. It's just you're flying basically throughout the whole map. You're
Mhm.
really not stopping and enjoying this particular moment.
Mhm.
It isn't a Red Dead Redemption 2 where you're riding the horse just riding, trying to get to your destination, and then and someone yells, I need something," and then you go.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
true open world. That is an immersive game to the open world. And then, but then you get like open world games that are like semi open world, semi linear, right? Like The Last
Mhm.
of Us, big open world, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Uncharted 4, open world a little bit, right? In a certain map, but it's like just this particular area. But
Yeah.
it's still blocked by certain things that you're like, you can't get over here.
Silent Hill. Yeah.
Silent Hill as well. But that's not, I'm not saying that because that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you know, they change up. This game, you're playing and it is open world and you're doing the whole thing, but like you're getting to point A to point B, and obviously we didn't play enough of it, so we can't discuss the rest of the game. But if what we see in the beginning is any indication of what's going to happen in the rest of the game, I don't think it is going to open up in any way, or it's going to feel alive. The game didn't do well, and people were knocking that. What I just
Mhm.
mentioned, again, that's what people have said, not what we said because we haven't finished it, but you know.
Yeah, I would say, like, I wanna touch on the point of, like, the characters themselves are great, like, when you're playing the game, when you're walking through, like, the Hall of Justice and you're just like or not the Hall of Justice, I'm sorry, whatever was it the Hall of Justice? I don't know, there's a point where you're walking in
Yeah, the
somewhere
Hall
with
of no,
yeah,
it's the Hall of Justice League or whatever, right? I forget what it's called.
I think it's the Hall but anyway, you're walking through it and you're seeing, like, these statues of all these heroes and stuff, and you're just walking and everyone's dialogue and talking crap kind of about these heroes, and that was fun, but then once they, like, release you into the world, and you're fighting these countless waves of enemies, it's not fun, and again, like you said, we haven't beat the game. I think one of the highlights of the game was some of the boss battles, so I have not experienced that. The farthest I got, I think, was when we got to Penguin, and like, because I was playing the beta with a friend, and we got to a point he had to leave, so I'm like, I'm just gonna continue a little bit more, and I'm just like, gosh, there's really nothing just keeping me here, honestly. Even having someone to play with, it was like, it still
Yeah.
didn't make it that great, but at least we can
Now,
talk about it.
I want to ask you this question, uh,
Please.
because I mean, we are both fans of Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. We loved Rocksteady, right? When they made those games, even Batman Origins is awesome, or I
Yeah, it's
thought
not
it
bad.
was. But that's not Rocksteady. But I want to ask you this: do you think that this game, like, was it that it wasn't Batman? Is that what made this game fail? Is that what like made you not want to stay there? Is kind of my question. Because like I remember thinking like, why do I want to play as these characters? But then like you're playing the game and like we stated, the dialogue is so good and the characters are funny and do all these things. But
Yeah.
it's like I'm tired of, some part of me is tired of this like anti-hero thing that they're trying to do, right? It's like, let's make every villain a hero now. Let's make him an anti-hero. Let's like, Boomerang is a piece of, he's not a good person, but he's funny and like,
Yeah.
and now he has a redeeming quality.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean, they were trying to kill the Justice League. But I mean, obviously they were under a spell and clones. But I mean, I get it. But no, I mean, what
I
brought
love that you like, and clones.
I know. Well, they attack our clones. But what brought me to that game is just like, like I like those characters. I wanted to see more, and I didn't have a problem with this anti-hero part. But yeah, it's just I think the looter shooter live service thing is what really turned me off. Like again, I do want to play this game. I still want to. I have it. We have it. I do just want to do it just to experience it. Obviously, the story doesn't really mean anything because it all get reset. It's a short game too. So I mean, why not? Why not just jump into it? But it's really hard to get me to get there. I'm just like, ugh.
How long
And
is it
like
to beat? Do you know?
from what I remember hearing, I think it was like maybe 6 hours of the actual story.
Oh wow, no
I
way.
would
That's
think, and then you just
crazy.
and then I think it just restarts, and you're just doing like the
Well,
whole
I want to.
seasons. I don't know. I really don't
That's
understand.
that's what I wanted to ask you because the game is live service, so there's multiple seasons. There's like a Mrs. Freeze. There's a
Yeah, so I'm
Joker
sure
one,
that
right?
those are just adding more story to it. I don't know
But so
exactly. I
that
haven't
means
looked
that
into it.
if you don't, I guess, I mean, I don't know if they're free, but if you don't buy in, you won't get the full
You
experience.
don't get anything basically. Yeah, but I mean,
Oh,
I feel
that's
like they're gonna at
awful,
some point they're
dude.
just gonna give it to people.
Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be
honestly
another Marvel Avengers sort of ordeal,
yeah, I'm
right?
honestly surprised they kept it going as long as they did.
Because they've
Um,
already spent so much money on this, bro. It isn't because
true.
they're like, oh, let's do this out of the goodness of our heart. We believe in this game.
But that's might be
And
true, but not for all games.
I mean, maybe, but I just
Well,
kind
we'll
of
get to later. A little clue there. But yeah, Suicide Squad sucks. I wish it was better. I mean, especially I didn't play Gotham Knights. I know that game didn't look great. We just need another hitter of a Batman game. It doesn't have to be Batman. I mean, obviously they really can't do a Superman game because he's indestructible. Um,
Oh man, I can't
so
wait. Hopefully they do something like that. They
they're
have to
supposed to be
figure
doing
that
Wonder
out.
Woman game, right? Like you said, they're
Yeah, and
still
she's
working
kind of
on that.
indestructible too. I mean, right?
As long as she goes, where are the stones?
He's what is the thing? What is he, when she's talking to Pedro Pascal's character and she's on the car? It's like, you need to stop this now.
Gosh, okay. Oh well, Suicide Squad. We're sorry for you. We wish you had better, honestly, but
We did. I
not
think
not even a
you.
year of release, and the game is basically dead. I don't think there's
Yeah.
many concurrent players even playing that game.
No.
But anyway, let's go ahead and move on, shall we? Anything else you wanted to touch
Sure.
on that, or you're good?
No. I just want to, say the same thing, same sentiment. Wish you would have been a lot better, and hopefully moving forward,
We
Rocksteady
glad we
makes
hardly
something
knew
better.
you. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I get. Someone had said, and I quote, if I'm wrong, "That's what you get for giving me the old sugar me do."
You know,
Just
but
joking.
you know, we didn't touch up on this, which is a lot of the
Tell me.
games on this list. I'm just gonna say it now. Layoffs, like the things, like people get
Yeah.
laid off for these games, and I think they let people go from Rocksteady, a few of them, and it's like it sucks. It's like it's not their fault. They're forced to make these darn games. You know what I mean? And
No,
the
it's the
and the
company's fault
people
for
and the
sure.
people at the top sipping tea. No, just kidding. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. So
Yeah.
the next game on the list, which is another game that I was personally really excited for because I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I thought that game was fantastic. Ubisoft coming out with another game of pirates. Yes, it's going to be a win. A game from Ubisoft Singapore, Skull and Bones. This game was released on February 13th, 2024. Doesn't really seem like there's no sign of slowing down for this game. I mean, with poor critical reception, they have year 2 content already in the works. Um, this was announced in 2017, multiple delays, multiple beta tests. What happened? Why didn't they get this right? I don't know. Allegedly, this was spent 650 to 850 million on this game. I don't know why this was a good idea to refer to it as a quadruple A game, which is hilarious. I think, and I love that everyone makes fun of it. Like, hey, quadruple A game is on sale for $20. Um, but they really screwed up. The naval combat is great. I played this beta test multiple times. I still kind of believe in this game. I have hope for this game. I actually recently bought it. It was pretty cheap on Steam. I haven't played it yet, but
Wait, you bought Skull and Bones?
I told you I bought it.
I know. I
Um,
didn't even remember this. That is wild.
just like the game, it's forgotten. But
Yeah, I
the
bet.
naval
Jeez
combat is
Louise. No
fun and it's
way.
fine. But where they really screwed up is there's no land combat. After Assassin's Creed Black Flag, like they had all the right recipes. So if the supposedly Assassin's Creed Black Flag game comes out this year, the remaster, then this game's gone. Like I think. But what are your thoughts on Skull and Bones? And I think you were always kind of against me on this game. I don't know why you gave me pushback on this game, but go ahead.
I give you pushback because there's certain games that I see that I feel like you're not gonna play. Like it's like you when you
But I
warned me
wanted
of.
a pirate game. You know how badly I
No,
wanted
I
a
know you
pirate
did,
game.
and I was and I
I'm a
think I was just
pirate.
telling you I don't think this is the one you're gonna want. Like I
Yeah.
think there was I think I mentioned to you to get the Xbox Game Pass one, the Microsoft one, Sea of
Yeah,
Thieves.
Sea of
I
Thieves,
think you
which I
would have had a lot
tried.
more fun with that, but
I think I was too late with that because I hopped on it when everyone was not playing it. My friends, at least, they had already
yeah.
played it. It like came and gone. Well, when I was telling you about this game, I'm like Ernie. That's Peter Pan. You were like Peter Pan. What the hell shall we do? No, just kidding. Sorry, God. It's like a Peter pirate. But anyway, continue. Sorry. It's still gone.
You know what? I hadn't muted myself. I apologize. But
You're good.
for the recording. But so I'm gonna just repeat what I was saying. But what I was saying was this game when it came out, we felt that we were at the point of Ubisoft where they were under delivering a lot of the things, right? Like yes, we played like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Valhalla. We played Assassin's Creed Mirage. I don't know when this came out. I forget the time. It was last year, but I don't know if it was Mirage at the
February
same time.
13th. Oh, yeah, Skull. Oh, that's right. Mirage. Yeah, I'll
I
look that
think,
up. But go
yeah,
ahead.
it might have came out at the same time, but they were under delivering. Mirage was a great game, but it was still
Yes.
wasn't the original like sort of greatness of Ubisoft of the
Mirage
past,
came
right?
out in 2023, October 5th.
Oh,
Jeez. Oh, yeah.
so
I think
yeah,
we just
so
played it in this past
well,
year. But anyway,
dude,
continue.
Skull and Bones is supposed to come out like what a year, like 2 years ago,
No,
right?
2017 is when it was originally announced. But yeah, like it's been like 2 years since it was originally supposed to come out.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is like the game is gonna end up. It was gonna. I had a feeling that it wasn't gonna do well, and I think all the signs pointed to it. Right? How many delays? How many like even you kept playing the beta, and you're like they didn't change anything. It's the same game.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Which is, or I mean the alpha. I think you said right, not the beta. But yeah. So like, it, I don't see this game doing well. I think they're gonna really bag on doing remasters and trying to get the people who were there from the get to come back,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we're gonna see a trend too with Ubisoft. But yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, that. Go ahead, you can talk about the trend.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like you said, Mirage was good, but like even in 2023, Avatar came out, and that for Ubisoft, and it was a great game, but no one had eyes on it because they were tired of the Far Cry formula, which basically what it was, but with Avatar paint on it. But yeah, then Skull and Bones, and like I think we talked about it a little last year. Oh, I'm sorry, last year, last week. Actually, as far as news goes, we were talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new one. It got delayed in a month. It got delayed till March 30th. They're really trying to. I think they're really relying on this game, and this is the game that's their saving grace. Um, and they really need to polish it because something like this, Skull and Bones, and the next game on the list that we'll talk about just didn't do well because of their issues. Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't know because I mean the game looks like it could have been promising because of what it was
hmm
trying to do, right? Like you said, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag did such a great naval combat, and I think you're right. I think not. Oh, I never played Skull and Bones, but from what you told me, you can't board people's ship and start fighting, right?
No.
That's not what you. And that was like one of the fun things about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You would knock this ship down, board that ship, take the slaves or take whatever you get, and all. Like it was really cool. Like they did a
Yeah,
good
exactly.
job, you
Exactly.
know,
Which is funny because I like Dragon Game looks like it's going to do a better job.
yeah, dude, and I sent you the gameplay, the Yakuza what was it? Yakuza, what was it
Like
called?
a
Kiwami, like
Hawaii,
a
maybe?
pirate, Hawaii, something like that, like a pirate.
Like a pirate. I
But
don't know.
like,
Like
dude,
a
that game
pirate.
already, like you see it, and it's like, I think they are banking on it being more arcadey, and I think that's gonna sell much better than this
Oh,
one
yeah.
trying to be so much more of like an MMORPG sort of like an RPG, sorry, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So instead of Sculling Bones, instead of like them wanting for you to uncover buried treasure and find the gold, this game should have just stayed buried. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Oh, you like that one? Huh?
Okay.
Let's move on to the next game, dude. Another Ubisoft Massive Entertainment, which is another game that I was hyped for. Ernie, maybe not so much, uh, but Star Wars Outlaws. This game was released August 27th, 2024. It would look like a fantastic, fun romp, something that we needed from the Star Wars franchise. I mean, the Jedi games are great. Jedi Survivor was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. But I think a lot of people wanted something different. They didn't want strictly Jedi. And this is the game. You're a bounty hunter. Everything was good on paper. There was a system like a wanted system like Grand Theft Auto with the Empire. You can fly your ship. You have a speeder. You're riding around. Game comes out, runs very bad. The launch is just super technical. They're famous for this. They're famous technical issues, which is why they're probably delaying Assassin's Creed because of this game. Um, I think people are still enjoying this game, and like myself, I think which I talked about last week. Like I still like the game. It's just the technical issues are just really tough to get over. It's running a little better now, but it still needs a lot of work. This game still does have ongoing DLC stories with 2025 DLC planned already for this year for spring. So we'll be seeing that. This supposedly allegedly was cost between 200 and 300 million with the marketing and licensing and development. But yeah, it just again they just missed the mark, and not a lot of people got into this game. Hopefully it'll become a gem later, but it wasn't a game that people were overly impressed for. And Ernie, I don't know how you feel about this game. I don't think you're really ever going to get to it. Good.
Oh my bad, I was waiting.
Sorry, no, no,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the way you set
I
that
teed
up,
you
the
up in a
way
weird way. Yeah, it sounded like I
yeah,
was going to say
the way
something
you
more.
set that up was very okay. But no, like, see, Lex, I definitely want to check this game out. I want to play it. I want to give it a try. I want to give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
Right now, I'm in the background as the viewer is seeing this, but I'm putting the gameplay for the PC version because they obviously got a PC release, and it's showing you all these fixes and all these things. But then you're telling me it's running not so great, and even now that you're playing it, is it still running not at its best?
It's been a little while, so it's running a lot better. I think the graphics still need a little work. Like your main character just looks really bad. You could see like the pixels on her. It's like it's strange. And I'm playing on PS5. I don't know how it runs on PC. Was almost got it for PC, but I was seeing that people saying it wasn't really running well. So I think PS5 was the better choice. But I mean, I don't know. It might be different now.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a topic for another discussion, not the Star Wars thing, but basically waiting for a full polished game. Like at that point, like why even buy the game day one for a
Yeah,
game that's not going to be fixed and work properly? Like it just it boggles my mind that people still pre-order games. I get the excitement. I had that. I love that.
same.
But at the end of the day, like now we're getting such like games that are game breaking, like that they won't work, that they like things that happen that it's like, why are you giving these people your money? Like, you know what I mean? Like, go give
Especially
money.
Ubisoft. I mean, my brother was telling me, I bought Star Wars Outlaws. I was like, why? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm all, it's Ubisoft and it probably runs terrible. And he hasn't even played it. But anyway,
But
sorry,
see,
go ahead.
that's the thing is like most people don't like the average consumer, right? It's Star Wars. It's gonna sell.
It's the wars.
It's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
wars. Like yeah, it's gonna sell. Like they're again banking on the name. It's
Yep.
like Avatar banking on the name. I mean, I had not played the Avatar one you were talking about, but that one looks dope. It's Far Cry in Avatar land. Like I love that. That sounds great.
In
I don't
Avatar
know
land.
why it
Yeah,
didn't sell well. I don't know.
yeah.
But this one, it's like it's banking on that. I love what they were going for. I like that it's an outlaw. I like that they're trying to like
It
the
had the
system of it.
pieces.
It has the potential, right? But it's like it never hits the mark, and I'm not sure what it is. Again, I haven't given this game a try, but from what I've heard, it just doesn't sound like I should give it a try. Like,
Yeah, I mean
you know what I mean?
they shot for the stars, but it should have stayed in space.
They probably shot for the stars, but they freaking blew up like that purple haired lady in the Last Jedi, dude. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They went through the you know.
But I mean, like I
Uh,
said, I still am having fun with it. I think there's a community that still enjoys this game. I mean, like most games, it's gonna have their fan base, but again, it's Star Wars. I feel like that's the game I wanted, but it just wasn't done well, sadly.
Yeah, I definitely. I think this is the game that I'm gonna purchase eventually. I mean, I started playing. It took me a while, but I started playing Jedi. What's the Star Wars
Survivor.
Jedi Survivor, and I know you were highly recommending it, but I'm like, I'm not into that right now, and I know I had given you crap about it. I'm like, dude, I didn't really care all that much for the first one because I really
Mm,
didn't like the gameplay all that much. But as
mm.
I played this new one, they fixed so many things. It runs
Yeah, and
much
it
better.
works really well.
I waited so long, and now it's like the best version of it.
Yeah,
You get what I mean? So it's like
it's
with
unfortunate, yeah.
Outlaws, it's like let me wait for a sale, get the best version of it. It sucks to say that, but it's like you've given me no other choice. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna play a broken game.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't
and for
know
the people that bought it full price, you have done that yourself.
yourself. Yeah, I don't know if y'all agree with me. Please sound off in the
Sound
comments. I
off,
mean,
sound off.
I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that because at the end of the day, you got to vote with your wallet, right?
I was gonna say it, say it. Yeah, yeah. I agree, man. I agree. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game here. This is a game that Ernie brought to my attention that I was unaware of, unknown to me, actually. This game is called Unknown Nine Awakening. Perfect title for this game because it is unknown. This was made by Reflector Entertainment. This came out on October 17th, 2024. Poor perception. Not much info for this game when I was kind of looking up for it. I don't know. Is it dead? Did it? I don't know what happened to this game. Obviously, I did not know anything about it. How did this game come across like you, Ernie? Like, I'm curious.
So I had seen this gameplay. I forget what it was, but I saw it and it looks cool. Like it looks promising. Again, another promising game. Always these E3 sort of reveals look promising. I forget where I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Game Awards or whatever, but I saw it somewhere and it looked cool. Um, I think like I think it's got a. I don't like the name. I think it's not a very good name. Probably makes sense if you play the story or whatever. But so I was looking at this game and I'm like, man, this looks cool. And then you look at the gameplay and it's like, dude, this does not look good at all.
Yeah, I happened to see a little clip of this gameplay, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, you're right. This looks weird."
Like yeah, like it's so unpolished. If it, like there was gameplay of like the NPCs, and basically they like like she could disappear, and she disappears, and then it's like they're like, where is she? And it's like, and then she pops out, but like it's obviously he's next to her, but the NPCs don't don't react. It's like it's so bad, bro. It looks like I could tell what they're trying to do here, but it just again it's a miss. And
Mhm.
I think like there's like more like the character's face looks. If you thought Outlaws looked bad, dude, she looks so funky, bro.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know who's playing this game, if anybody. I mean, obviously it sold a little bit, but yeah, I know nothing about this. I don't even remember it getting announced.
You
So
should
it's pretty
you gotta look. Yeah, you gotta look at this. It's so interesting, bro. The way that they set this up, like the way that they made the gameplay. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't
yeah,
play well. It looks like the gameplay is just so off.
crazy. That is wild. I don't even know why some of these games get greenlit. No, I'm kidding. They're promising, right? That's just what happens. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. This game was released. This was, I think, a lot of people knew about this game. It was released on Halloween of last year. Dragon Age: The Veil Guard, EA and BioWare game. This game was a return to form. Um, it received the attention, but doesn't seem like it did very well. The people are questioning because EA hasn't really mentioned the sales on this game, so they might. So everyone's thinking that it's underwhelming and the performance itself. Um, and fans were divided about this game. I guess there was a lot of controversy behind the game as far as we've seen dialogue clips for it. It's just kind of forcing stuff that is I don't know, the people aren't typically liking. So they think this also has been review bombed because of these reasons and affecting this game overall. Ernie, I don't know if you have more to say on this.
Yeah, dude, this game looks cool. Like this is one of the games that I saw gameplay of and I was very excited for.
Hmm.
I did see those clips. I don't really care if they're trying to talk about certain things. That's fine, whatever. You put your art, you put the person you are in your art, right? That's how it is, and we know that the person who wrote the game is has beliefs of I think they were transgender. I forget what it is. I really don't care. That's not why I don't want to
Hmm.
play this game. I watched the game as you're playing it, and the way that the choices and the way that the characters interact is so poorly written. It has
Hmm.
nothing to do with what their beliefs are. They just don't have a good sense of camaraderie, or they don't have a good conversation. It just seems so weird. And this is the interesting thing, bro. I still want to play this game. Gonna wait for
Hmm.
a sale for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, bro, like I saw that, and not even about the whole videos you're the clips you're talking about. This is completely different, having to do with the actual story. And I
Hmm.
was watching it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this does not look good. Like it's
Yeah.
really poorly written, and and because I saw that, I'm like, what's the closest kind of game to this that I could play right now that I know is going to be a good story? And I ended up playing The Witcher 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny because I've always kind of wanted to play Origins. Like I've always seen it on sale, and I'm like, this game looks interesting. I want to give it a try, but I never did because I think it's just older and just really doesn't play well anymore as well. But also I've heard from like a friend that they're on their second run through this game. So obviously people like it. I am interested as well to play the game.
Yeah,
I think the other thing too, this could be an issue as well with it is like Baldur's Gate was such a huge success. And like I'm not trying to compare the two, but like it's kind of similar in that way, and maybe that's kind of gives it some effect. But again, like you said, the dialogue options between like say you see Baldur's Gate in this, it's way different. So yeah, I mean, I still want to give it a try. I would love to play it if we can go halvesies or whatever, but when
no,
it's
no,
on sale.
definitely. I definitely want to play this game still. I I know there was like a mix of reviews for this game, and obviously, we're not going to talk politics. I really don't care, but
Yeah.
politically, I think people were like diverse by that. Like they're like, oh, I don't want this in my games. I don't want this and that. But it's like most games have sort of things like that, right? Like, or stories. That's like a thing. Now it just people are thinking that it's like out there way more than it was. But it's like, no, it's been around. We didn't pay attention then.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this game, dude, still looks awesome to me, but I don't trust these big reviewers. And this is the thing. This is why I wanted you to put this on, because I'm still going to buy this game, Lex. You and I are probably going to play this eventually, right?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually, you'll get it
But
all. Mm-hmm.
but I'll tell you this, Lex. The reason that I wanted to bring this up is because it got great reviews from all these big companies. And then there was like this backtrack of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These articles, I'll let you get into them, Lex, if you want to. It just
No, go ahead.
like, no, go ahead. I don't want you.
No, I'm waiting for you. I thought you were still good.
Yeah. No, I
I
won't mention the outlets because.
No, of course, yeah, we're not going to.
We don't want that. We don't.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. But it was like, oh, this game is like the best thing since sliced bread, and then like, it like a couple of days after, and it's like, why we think it didn't, if it's failed, and then, like why it failed this or why it
went
this.
back
I
on
don't.
our word.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's strange, right? Like, why do that? Like, what is that garnering for you? Because at the end of the day, like, we talked about this, and I think y'all definitely should know this, and I think you probably do, but the access media is probably one of the worst things to happen to entertainment in general, and that's another topic for another discussion, but just so you know, you basically are these YouTubers and or like not most YouTubers, but like these like big companies well, I'm not gonna say any names, but these big companies that go see these games, you know, they see these games and they see them through a different lens because they're chummy with these developers or like they know these things, which is cool. Like I get that every developer has a life outside and you could be a friend. That's awesome. I would love to do that too. But it's like you got to separate the work from the person. Exactly. You got to be truthful to what you say. And I think that's the problem is like most of these things that you end up like seeing on TV or on your videos and stuff or articles kind of have like a sort of this like not a true real review because they're still holding back, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that I'm always worried about with these bigger things, which is why I like what we're doing, right? Like we're not getting paid to do what we're doing. I mean, hopefully someday, like we get freaking Shadow Ray Legends, dude, and
in a couple months, I'm gonna be like, Justice League is the greatest game I've ever played.
Like you know what I mean, like. But no, like you want like we're not gonna sell out, but like that's the point. It's like you want a person who is being honest. You want to know where they come from. But everyone's review is gonna be what's it called? It's gonna be
bias. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Everyone's review is biased. Like Lex's review of something is gonna be biased because of his life or what he's dealt with or how he's played his games and things like that. Same with us. And I think a lot of people get lost on that as well. But I'm not talking about that. That's awesome. Bias is fine. I love RPGs and this is why I love this game. That's fine. But it's like, it's when they start to be like, it's like when they go, oh, come play Velguard for 5 hours and we're going to set you up at this hotel and we're going to pay for all your food and then we're going to give you alcohol and you're going to get a nice little gaming chair to go home with, a nice little packet. And you're like, oh no, I didn't get paid to do this. I didn't get paid.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like also like timeshare stuff too. It's like that we're gonna throw all these pretty things at you. Hey, we're gonna give you a free trip to Hawaii. Hey, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you that. We're gonna give you this. But you gotta buy. You gotta watch this presentation. You gotta buy this. You know what I mean? It's just like
it's like there's a caveat. There's like something always. A caveat.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is. So I'm not saying everyone's bought off. I don't think that's it. I don't think
that's
necessarily true. But I remember I have always talked about this one, but this is a particular one that always bugged me. But there was a Call of Duty that had come out, and they flew out all the people to Mexico. I think it was like some dude I know and some other people, and they went out there and they were like having a blast. They were basically on a pool, swimming, drinking alcohol, and playing Call of Duty. Sounds like a perfect time to review a game, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like
you're drunk. You don't really know what's going on. You're just
you're
like,
like
this is
having good,
great.
yeah, you're getting fed, you're getting taken care of, and it's like it sways your opinion, right? Like if you're not playing this game that you spent money on and your hard-earned money that you've like worked hard for, and you're like, dude, this game is not working for me, that is something different. That's why I wanted to talk about this game. But also, like I said, I'm kind of biased myself because I still want to buy this game and play it.
Yeah,
Just at the discounted price of $20.
exactly. When it's aged a little bit.
That'll
So let's
hurt.
get into our final game of the night. Our award, Reach Checkpoint's award for the biggest flop of 2024. No, I'm kidding. We're not giving out awards. But this game you all might have heard of. It's from Firewalk Studios, PlayStation Studios, a Sony game. The big boy, the bigster, Concord, my friends. This game was released on 8/20 of 2024 and died on September 6th of 2024. And sadly, the studio was closed on 10/29. Very poor reception. This is kind of the PlayStation's answer to Valorant, in a way. And what it costs allegedly $400 million. But what really frustrates me about this game is that maybe it was not what everybody wanted, but they didn't give it a chance to gain traction. And I think another part of they should have made this game either free or a lot more cheaper than it was. I think it was a full price game. This game was basically shut down right away. Like it had no chance to grow, which most games get. Like I'm saying, like, you got in Justice League up there, like that game's still going. You got Skull and Bones. Maybe you have more insight on it. I played the beta. I didn't think it was terrible. Again, I am not a fan of those kind of games. However, I know there is a fan base, but I think it just came a little too late. What are your thoughts on this, Ernie?
I mean, I think I share the same sentiment. Just going off of you, but it felt like a game that came out at the point of so many other games doing other things much better. And I
Mhm.
think this was trying to be something that nobody wanted at this particular moment. But like you said, nobody gave it a chance. I think the game might have been a lot better had it been out for a little bit longer and let's fix these bugs, let's fix these things, because the game looks cool. Like I didn't get to play it, and I really wanted to. I wanted to give it that chance, and then like before you know it, they were like, no, this is doing really well, but it's because they they were trying to make a certain amount of money on it, and it just didn't do that. And
Mhm.
I think they should have made this game definitely free to play. I think that would have been
With the
much better.
microtransactions and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah, again, that's just. I'm reading this thing right here now. It's like they said that the concurrent players high was like 697, lower than the launch peak of Lord of the Rings Golem.
That's
Yeah.
wild, dude. I saw. That's so crazy. I
Uh,
saw someone say that this had the lifespan, or a mosquito had a longer lifespan than this game.
which is wild.
Which is,
And we
I don't
can't,
even
and
know.
it's not, and it's funny because we can't really say like, they came too late in the game. Like I said it's a little too late, but it's like because they're doing the same thing. Like you said, the other games are doing better. But like example, Marvel Rivals came out. It's a huge hit. Could that be because of the Marvel heroes is associated with it? Probably. But I think a
Yeah,
lot of people had issues with the character design for Concord. They thought it was had an agenda. And I think, and it's funny because you look at other characters in these other games, they're kind of funky as well. It's not like a,
no,
not
it's
a
not that. It's not that. I don't think so. I mean, Marvel Rivals did well because it basically was Overwatch, which was already a game that
successful.
was successful and people loved that gameplay. The reason I think it's because it improved on that, and it was focusing on trying to give the player the choice to play a certain way, and to
Mhm.
have a certain characters, and to spend money the way they wanted to. I think you could get some of all the characters are free. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like things
Mhm.
like that. It's a free to play game. It's like the price to entry is easy.
It's like
I think
Fortnite too, right? It's like you're
yeah,
gonna buy
exactly.
these skins and these collabs and
You don't need to buy that. Like you don't
mhm.
need to play the it's not a pay to win game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that's the well, I mean, this didn't have that, but I'm just saying it's not a pay to win. Like, um, what is like Call of Duty? I think sometimes you can buy certain weapons that'll be pay to win. Like they're gonna be much better than the guns you get for free, which is like stupid, but
Yeah, I
that's the thing.
wonder. I'm curious. I don't know this. Maybe I should have looked this up before. Comments, leave in the comments if you know. But when you bought this game, is the game you bought it, or there's still going to be microtransactions? There probably is, right? I'm assuming there
I
were
don't
still
know.
microtransactions
I'm
in the
assuming
game,
there were still microtransactions. I
kind of
don't
like Suicide
know. I
Squad and
think
Rise.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think you have every character and everything like that. I
yeah.
assume you had to probably level up and get each individual one. I didn't get to play it, but yeah. I think it definitely has microtransactions. I think that those games are trying to do that, right? I think they canceled
Hmm.
one of I forget which game that they were working on that was supposed to be a live service game. And
Hmm.
I think like one of the well, we're talking PlayStation now, but one of the reasons Sony hired Bungie because they know live service games because of Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Destiny did really well and it was a success to them and made them money. I don't know how much. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I remember hearing.
Hmm.
And so they try to have them do that with these games because if you're watching Concord gameplay, one of the characters' his name is like Ass Hat or something like that. No, his name is like Eight Linux. Sorry. Linux, he's like this yellow dude, and he plays like a hunter
He was supposed to be
from
like the
Destiny.
mascot, like the from the game, right? He's supposed to be like
Yeah,
another PlayStation mascot.
he's supposed to be
The the other,
which is funny because they brought that
he looked
Amazon
like.
Prime show, right?
No, that's right, the secret level show. I haven't watched it yet, but
I want to
it's
watch. I
funny
heard it's
that
pretty good.
dude kind of looks like what's his name?
Uh,
Merrill, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy with the
Yondu,
yeah, Yondu. He kind
yeah,
of
he
looked like him a
does.
little bit,
He
but
does. And then they
you know,
kind of like try to make that Guardians like esque.
exactly, yeah, and it could have worked, but yeah, again, they didn't give the time. But the other part of it too is like they focus like we wanted this game. Like I remember, I think it was one of the PlayStation showcases. They dedicated like 10 minutes of showing this game, and they're like, Concord is coming, and Concord and I'm like, no one wanted it, and maybe they could use that money on that Last of Us factions game, which I'll never get
Man,
over. But
we'll
anyway,
never get. Yeah, dude.
that wasn't.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like someone. The thing is that someone saw this game right when it was in development, and they spent whatever money they did. We don't know. Allegedly, people say they spend what I forgot what they
400
said.
million was the cost
Something, yeah, something
yeah.
crazy like that. And I think one of the guys who broke it was like he knows his stuff or whatever, right? But the thing is that like someone saw this and greenlit this. Someone was like, I like that these characters look like this. I like that this is the gameplay. I think this is gonna make us money. Like this was a thing, right?
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I would have loved to try to see what the vision was going forward, but there is no vision, right? Like well, it's over now. Like we'll never. This is like one of the reason this is such a big story is because it's happening in a time where things like this don't happen. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
like, and so I think the thing that worries me, Lex, is that because this was such a flop, that it's going to deter. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's going to make Sony not want to make another FPS moving
Yeah.
forward, right?
How can that be profitable for Sony Entertainment?
Frito Lay. Yeah, because like like dude, they have Killzone. They have
Hmm.
what's that freaking what's the Rise game, the fall game, the one with the aliens. Why can't I
Rise
think
of
of
the
the name?
Resistance,
No,
Resistance. It's just called the
Resistance. Thank you.
Resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Resistance. Yeah, they have Resistance.
They have these
They
games in
have
their back
SOCOM.
pocket.
They have
Yeah.
SOCOM. Like they have these games that like it's like I think they had said something like we don't have anything in the background or something. I forgot what they said, but it's like you have these games that are like they could definitely make money. Get a freaking studio working on that, dude. Let's get an
Yeah.
FPS, dude. Call
Sly Cooper.
like what? Like Mike? Yeah, Microsoft bought it owns Call of Duty now, right? But I mean, we're still gonna get it on PlayStation. That's fine, whatever. But it's like PlayStation should be focusing on an FPS game that could take out Call of Duty and is solely on PlayStation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't like that. I'd rather it be on everything. But it's like let's have someone compete with that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, I
think
hear you, man.
but,
Yeah, well, that wraps up our games. We thought that just flopped over the year. I know there's probably some more in there we didn't throw in. I mean, there was some other ones we wanted to throw in there, but we decided not to. Um, I hope you all enjoyed everything we talked about. I mean, in the comments, if there's anything else we missed, some insights you might know about some of these games, throw it in there. What your thoughts on these games? Did you think they were flops? Did you like these games? I don't know. How's Concord still playing? I'm kidding. Do you have a copy? Can you send it to us?
Dude, I
um,
would, that's like one of the games that definitely should be in a collection, right? It's like it's
I
gone
mean,
after.
people have it, and they're just like, and I think there was a point that merch was on sale. They're like, let's take all the merch because who knows? Maybe in a couple of years, it's gonna be like those just like an ancient relic, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, right now, next week we don't have a topic ready for you next week. We'll I mean we have a couple options we're gonna be talking about, but next week we'll reveal that obviously. So thank you all so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do. Leave some comments on what games, all these we've talked about and everything.
All these
Sorry,
games.
I was reading something else. I got distracted there. But anyway, Ernie, is there anything else you want to say to the nice people?
No, no, as like you said before, thank you for tuning into the episode. We appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you, Lex, for hosting the episode and
Of
kind of leading
course.
us through this journey, as one might say, of gaming flops of 2024. It was a
Yes,
fun
sir.
episode. I think it was a very it's like I'm reviewing our own thing, but
I
it
was
was
gonna
a
say, hey,
fun.
you can talk to me off pod.
I
He's
know,
just
right?
he's like,
But it
"What are
was
you having for
definitely
lunch?" I was gonna go. Sorry.
but it was a lot of fun trying to like going through this with you. I just because we had talked about this for quite some time, and we're like, man, there's a lot
Never
there's
in depth.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and like just because I want to say this last thing, just because we said that these games flop is not just our opinion; it's the consumer's opinion, right? Like they didn't do
Mhm.
well, or it's getting these sort of like you know things being said of them, and
Yeah,
so we
which is why I said if you like the games, let us know. I
that's
mean,
fine.
hey,
Yeah,
well, yeah, or say
gaming's gaming,
give it
dude.
a chance. If you like a
There's
game,
still
you like a game.
people, yeah, there's still people playing Dustborn that didn't do well, but there's like people on that or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Some concurrent players. So anyway, thank you all again so much. Tune in next week. Checkpoint reached. Goodbye.
Bye.